Doing this shit again. I do it every time. This shit just a force of habit. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Juwan next to Don.
Except my STEEZ, you know what's going on. Yes, Lord.
Yeah, bring you goddamn. What is this?
Semifinals? Yep. You don't even have round numbers. You gotta memorize the damn round number.
Yeah, semifinals. 2 games this round. Both elimination games. Both great games. Any takeaways, bro?
I would say my takeaway this week is the 4 is who we thought they were, bro. The top 4 sides were the top 4 sides. And that's who we're left with pretty much. Dogs obviously finished at 5, but Dogs majority of the year were finishing 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. So realistically, they are top 4 sides. So it was good to see that we're about to be getting a good matchup with the best teams in the comp, really.
Yeah, they definitely solidified that top spot this round. Well, the top 4 spot, if you don't mind. My takeaway is probably gonna have to be Bailey Smith's celebration, bro.
Oh my God!
Like, alright, Aussies, I need y'all to calm down, bro. I've seen a lot of shit about him. Like, bro, it has nothing to do with no vaccination, none of that other shit, bro. It's just a celebration. It's been in basketball, I think. D'Angelo Russell made that shit big.
Yeah.
Ice in the veins.
Cold-blooded.
Honestly, stop bitching.
Stop acting like it's some type of propaganda agendas for Bailey. Like, as far as I know, a lot of the younger people are more so against vaccinations compared to the older age people. So what make you think that?
Yeah. You won't even know all that, man. But I guess let's go ahead and get into these motherfucking games, bro.
This is a crazy goddamn game. Crazy game.
So first off, we had Geelong versus GWS
at Opera Stadium.
I had really high hopes for GWS coming into this game. Coming into the finals, GWS has become my second favorite team throughout this. And I really think Toby Green let his team down with that dumbass bump on the umpire last week for nothing, for no reason. You put your team in this position because they needed you. They needed you this game. They needed that extra little oomph that, you know, that Toby brings to every game he plays. It was definitely, GWS had a chance. I'm not gonna say Geelong just whooped their ass or nothing like that, but GWS just couldn't get going, and when they needed to score goals early, they just couldn't find them. It was really a disappointing loss for GWS just because they weren't all together. They weren't a full team. Toby fucked everybody's hopes and dreams up. I really just feel bad for him, man. I feel bad for him. Geelong, on the other hand, y'all looking tough, especially in the air. Y'all looking like a tough team. Port whooped y'all ass, man. I got y'all right, man.
Humble ass.
I got y'all right, man.
You know how I do, man. I like to do my little intros to the games or whatever. So this was Zach Tui's return to the side after being out, I think, for like 3 weeks or something like that. Also, this is Jeremy Cameron against his old squad, so it's always good to see. And really, at the end of the day, I think this game ended up being turnovers, efficiency with the ball as far as disposals, ball movement, and possession. And I think Geelong ticked those boxes, and that's where GWS kind of struggled. You've seen a lot of times during the game, Geelong had that, let's sit in, settle in the game, and kick mark the ball around and get comfortable, and that's what they did a lot of times through the game. I think, particularly in the beginning of the game, though, I think Geelong brought good pressure, defensive pressure, good offensive pressure. They really were there to test GWS, and we know not GWS, but Geelong is a team that doesn't typically start too well. So that was kind of worrisome for GWS, I think, or it should have been, especially without your skipper and now you have Canelio, your regular skipper coming in, and not sure what he's able to really bring to the side. It's not quite the extent that Toby Green could bring. So, and GWS is a team that usually does start well. I think they're like the second best starting team, and they didn't get a good start. So it really kind of doubled on them. Was like, all right, it wasn't really looking too good for them early. I think, but both of them really needed. I think, like we're talking good about Geelong, they played good in the first quarter. But I think what they needed to work on was finishing the inside 50. Both teams, in particular, really couldn't get an inside 50 kick at all, bro. And with GWS, it was kind of more understood because you have, really working with a lot of small forwards, working with a rearranged forward line. So it's kind of expected, except not for Geelong, though, so that was kind of worrisome at least. Both teams were inaccurate, too, so it wasn't looking good. But the game did get better on later on in the game. Dangerfield was really slow. DeBoer, that boy really did a good tag job on him. And I respect DeBoer as one of the best taggers, bro. He got my attention when he tagged Walsh and he shut him out the game. In one of the week, I think that was Walsh's actually his worst game. So, props to him, bro, for sure. Mummy, what you thought about Mummy?
I could tell he was hurt a lot of the game. He definitely wasn't at full capacity at all, but he definitely had a key mark. He had that. I think it was the end of the third. He had after the buzzer goal, after a great mark that he.
Yeah,
that was probably his play of the game right there.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the season fatigue, or if he's hurt or whatever, but he did look slow at times. I seen him get thrown around like once or twice, and I'm not used to seeing that at all. But give props to Hawkins in the ruck, to Reece Stanley in the ruck. Reece Stanley played a real good game, so props to him for sure. That's the advantage that Mummy brings in the ruck, and if you're able to neutralize that, GWS he's obviously became more of a leader when Toby got eliminated from the game or whatever. So now you're leaning more on your senior players, so there's more pressure on him, and then you see him get thrown around. I think that'll hit the mental a little bit. Yeah. But I think GWS did bring strong pressure in the second quarter, though. Second quarter, they bring good pressure. You seen Canelio, he started to play in like D50 and really made the whole play to 450. I think that was their first goal that they actually scored.
How do you feel like overall about Canelio's performance?
Not particularly too well about it, to be honest. He's a little soft, bro. He gets.
It doesn't seem like he fits GWS's play style.
Nah, not at all. Nah, bro. I'm not a big fan of Canelio, to be honest.
I'm not either right now, right? And he's the one player I was looking for the most to come back because I've been liking GWS and because he's supposed to be one of their best players. And I was expecting something from him in the finals, and I just didn't get there.
Yeah. Like I said, that play that he did, that was big props, especially to get the team started. Skipper behavior, skipper mentality, but you're not the best player on the ground, and really wasn't even close, to be honest, as far as Canelio. So, and speaking of senior players, Himmelberg was real quiet this game. Forwards are already hindered, so Himmelberg, we need you. They need you. Couldn't quite get it done. So, but shout out to Geelong's defense. Like their defensive composure really were held up the whole game for the most part. A lot of times where I'm like, I get nervous because when they have their back line has the ball, they're just handballing it, and GWS can bring the pressure. But they really were just comfortable and they were composed, and they got the ball out a lot. And so that was very surprising. I know I wouldn't have that composure when somebody coming right at me very fast, bro, trying to tackle me, trying to hit me at the very least. Nah. So that stood up. Bobby Hill's goal, third quarter.
That was great. Just great effort all the way down the field, keeping it in, taking a bump. Well, really just moving, running past somebody easily. Good job. That was great.
It was another highlight, Radicalier's mark, where we caught it in a pack with like 8 people, probably like 5 people, but GWS defenders really just seemed like they exploded, like fell apart when he came in and caught the mark. So that was dope from Radicalier. Jimmy Cameron snap. That was a nice goal off the right boundary.
I don't think Jeremy Cameron did. I think they didn't score off it, but when he got up to the 50 and then kicked it through the corridor, like straight to the corridor, I definitely feel like he could have had a shot on it. He came in on the left side.
Was that early in the game?
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
I was surprised he did that because I definitely thought he was going for the goal. But I've been impressed with Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Jeremy Cameron too. If you go earlier in the season, I've been wanting to see. I've been asking the whole time, like, what is he gonna bring? What is he gonna bring? And then any game he doesn't show up, I'm kind of like disappointed. But you can see when he's on, and I'll definitely take him on my team. Yeah, GWS Ford scored the first goal after halftime, and then Geelong scored 5 straight. Really dominant, just taking possession like I said earlier. And Mummy, I think you covered that when he got that the goal at the 3/4 time. And this was like Tim Taranto. They had him at forward, and he wasn't able to really get around the footy, really get the footy at all because the midfield was getting smashed, to be honest, by Geelong. So, I mean, Ngolo was playing great. I haven't seen much. I have seen much of him, but I never seen him stand out and be one of the best players. And he really forced my attention on him, so he definitely played well, one of the better players on the field. But then they moved Taranto back in the midfield, and that's when the GWS really got going. And then really a turnover really just broke momentum. I think Himmelberg was able to get another goal late, but there just wasn't enough in the tank, not enough time.
Yeah, I do want to add, after Geelong had those 5 goals, GWS did answer quick. After Mumford had that, after the buzzer goal, they had 3 quick goals to start the 4th. And it was looking like they could have came back into it, but they just didn't hold on to that.
And that was like under 3 minutes.
Yeah.
When they scored them back-to-back goals. So they were on a mission. Lockie Whitfield, bro, that boy was everywhere. Like, he literally was everywhere on the field, bro. Like, back, forward, midfield, wing, wherever he was everywhere. So I like Lockie Whitfield. That's one of my favorite players on GWS too. Another one, Sam Taylor, like I said, he got fucked up this week. Tom Hawkins was Boogeyman doing that boy dirty, throwing him around, just confusing the young bull. He just really fucked him up.
Boogeyman just had a great game.
Boogeyman fucked that boy up.
It was really just the experience that showed how Boogeyman just knew how to get out on the marks and just use his body and grab them shits in. Like, I mean, he stood up when he needed to. I think he had the most goals this game, if I'm not mistaken.
At the same time, he got done up by Taylor last time they played, so it was like motivation when he turned up on him.
Yeah, Tom Hawkins had 5 goals this game, so he definitely put in some work, Boogeyman.
I will add, free kicks did affect this game a little bit. I wouldn't say it's the end-all, be-all, but free kicks in both, I think both games actually, free kicks affected a lot. There was definitely heavily favored in both games. So I don't like to give people excuses. I don't like to give fans excuses. So it is a fact, though. Also, last thing I'll say, fucking Razor Ray, bro. Tom Hawkins was on the mark, bro. Playing defense, obviously. And Razor Ray didn't cost stand or nothing. And Hawkins moves, and it's a 50-minute penalty. Like, if there's no stand call, why do I have to stand? Like, you expect me to, bro? No, that's dumb. Razor Ray needs to. What you said? You said that he's not umpiring the next round.
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm. Matter of fact, I'm for sure he's not umpiring next round.
Get him the fuck out of here.
Hopefully, he's not at the grand finals either, because that would be horrible.
Hell no. Get him the fuck out of here.
All right. So next game, last game of this round, we got Brisbane Lions versus Western Bulldogs.
Best game of the round.
Best game of the round for sure. Shit, probably I would say best game of the final so far.
That or Sydney GWS. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Both. I'll probably go this one.
But getting into this game, this game was just a great game all around, back and forth. I don't think the score was ever bigger. The score gap was ever bigger than 20, and it's not like somebody just held the lead. The team were trading leads throughout the whole game. I really don't even know how to break down this game because so much shit was going on.
So much shit was going on.
Every quarter you could really break down.
That's how I had to do it, bro, to be honest.
First quarter, bro, Charlie Cameron came out hot.
Yeah.
Also, it was Charlie Cameron's birthday. Happy belated birthday if you ever see this.
Was it Charlie Cameron's birthday?
Yeah.
I thought they said it was Easton Wood's birthday.
I thought they said Charlie Cameron.
Somebody's birthday. Anyway, let's not. Somebody ain't gonna be wrong on camera right now. Go ahead, bro. My bad. I was just.
But the first quarter, the stars were Charlie Cameron and Libba from both sides. Libba came in and got the Bulldogs turned up early. It seemed like they were struggling for a goal, and Libba really got them going.
First 2 goals.
Yeah, first 2. I'm really trying to figure out how to just sum this whole game up, man. This game, it was the battle for the 4th spot. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna get back into it.
All right. So, breaking it down quarter by quarter. First quarter, it was a back and forth contest. It wasn't. I think the inside 50 kicks, like I said, both games inside 50 kicks were struggling too. Like just like how the. So I don't know why there's free kicks and then also the inside 50 kicks. So ball movement looked good at times. It's just completing it, and it was not happening. I liked Vandermeer's pressure. He brought a tackle, holding the ball. Lions did too. The midfield from Brisbane. So there was a good pressure, high pressure game. First quarter, it was a battle between the midfields. It definitely was what we were looking for with McCluggage and Lyons and Neal and versus Bonton. You know, we got McCray and Libra. So I think the Dogs were better on the ground balls though. They really were just quicker to the punch as far as like when the ball was on the ground. Brisbane didn't really look up to the challenge at times. Like you said, Charlie Cameron had 3 goals in the first quarter. I think he actually ended with 3 goals. Unfortunately, you didn't really get much from Joe Danaher either. He had 2 marks the whole game.
I was highly disappointed in Joe. This whole finals, he really didn't do shit. I guess he got his 1 goal a game, but that really ain't shit. Especially with all your forwards missing, no Hipwood, Joe. You definitely knew you had to step up.
Hurt.
You didn't, bro.
And Charlie showed you what energy he needed from the team in the beginning of the game, bro. Bro, he was breaking away from the pack as far as running. Like he was really everywhere, bro. And Brisbane was getting their goals through the center bounce. McInerney was doing his thing. I think the Dogs did a good job as far as the midfield, specifically Bont, as far as neutralizing that ruck advantage, because they definitely had the ruck advantage with McInerney. He was tapping it where he wanted to. But the Dogs didn't let that go to advantage as much as Brisbane would have really liked. Midfield just looked a lot more tougher, hard body from the Dogs, and this kind of is what I expected, to be honest.
I was kind of interested to see that because McInerney, he definitely controlled the ruck.
He did.
Well, he won most of the hitouts, but it seemed like the Dogs just started taking advantage of
Midfield.
where he was hitting. Right, he couldn't control. Like, this is the difference between a great ruck and an alright ruck. He touched the ball, he got to the ball first every time, but he wasn't able to control where it went and who it got to. A lot of the times, Bont was just there to scoop it up and get the play moving in the Dogs' favor.
So you would put that on McInerney rather than the midfield of Brisbane?
It's really both.
Both.
I would put it more so. Damn, it is a lot on the midfield too, for sure.
I personally think McInerney did really with rucks. Like, you know how rucks, like we said, you got Nick Nat, you got Grundy, you got Gone. That's really about it as far as really just doing what they want to. Like McInerney, he did what he needed. Like what you wanted to do. Midfield, like I just feel like they needed to do that. Like they needed to be stronger in there. And Bont's just big, bro. And he just was throwing for just using his body. He's smart, bro. I'm but also speaking of Bont, I think he missed a couple set shots in the second quarter. I was kind of iffy about. If you're being regarded as best player in the comp, one of the best players in the comps, you got to knock the set shots down. In finals, you see this was a 1-point game. Also, I forgot to set the tone for this game. This game was the 4 and the 5 spot on the ladder, decided by like a 0.5% or something, decided by 1 point. And the game was decided by 1 point, the actual game. So it's very ironic. This time the Dogs got the advantage. Brisbane really looked good, bro. What was it, third quarter?
At times.
Bro, the third quarter, they were just living in the fourth half, but they couldn't get it done. They were not getting shit on the scoreboard. They didn't have shit to show for it, bro. Couldn't find the mark inside 50, bro. And this is the problem GWS had, but you still have Joe Danaher. You have bigger bodies for Brisbane. And you still have Charlie Cameron to work with as far as the ground game. But Brisbane had 4 straight, and I think the Dogs had 4 straight after that. Jack McRae had a very good game, bro. How many disposals did he have, bro? I think he had like 30 fucking 9 disposals or some shit. 39 disposals.
It was really like the Dogs. They were just cycling through their players. Like it's like somebody stepped up. They had a few big plays, and then they kind of fell off. But somebody else would step up in that place.
Bailey Smith.
Shit, Bailey Smith. Cody Waitman ain't do too much this game. Feel like a lot of the talk from last game of him being a little dirty or whatever, which is some bullshit. I think that kind of got to him. He didn't play as aggressively as he usually does, in my opinion.
He got a concussion, so.
Yeah, and he's out for next game. Bot might be out next game.
Yeah, I like the energy that Waitman brought, but this guy got knocked the fuck out.
He did.
You said Bont got hurt, you just said, right?
Yeah, Bart might not play the next game.
Yeah, PCL injury or whatever they said it was. Matter of fact, speaking on that play, I think Brisbane really blew an opportunity. They Bont hit his knee on the ground, and it was just a clean handball they had to do. They were on the run, and they just fumbled it, and that was what led to Bailey Smith score. With his go-ahead goal, they went up with like 2 minutes to go or something like that. Brisbane, like we said, they had the ruck advantage. They used that to full advantage. They got ahead and got themselves a Zach Bailey goal. It was pretty nice. Little cut juke move. Scored that. And how they end Vandermeer.
They ain't going behind, bro.
Yeah.
They had to work for that shit, bro.
The Dogs put pressure on them boys. Just kept kicking the ball forward, ain't it?
Yeah, pretty much. They really barely made it into a 50. Shit, the behind when the ball went in, it was off somebody falling and just that ball just kind of doing its own shit.
And Vandermeer had to hit that. And then after that, Charlie Cameron actually had an opportunity. Brisbane kicked it forward, and I think Jure was on his backside trying to chase him down. Charlie had it, but couldn't quite get the ball. Couldn't quite get it.
Right.
Yeah, kept bouncing, went out on the full. And I think they actually had another chance. There was a stoppage right there, and I think Lincoln McCarthy, kicked it, and it went out on the full again. Caleb Daniel iced the kick. He had a kick to a mark. I don't know if it was Bond. It was somebody had a mark with like 30 seconds to go that pretty much iced the game.
Great game. Great game. Either way, man. I got both my fucking tips on this week.
Yeah. Had to catch up, man. Trying to. Bailey Smith, I just want to say, bro, did the best players do it during playoffs and finals? He elevated himself. I wonder if is this just about to be another level of Bailey Smith? Did the Dogs just find themselves another midfielder that's just gonna be wild like that, or what? Chalor didn't show up.
Bailey Smith, like Bailey Smith been that. Well, maybe not.
That boy had 27 disposals.
So I know going into the season, a lot of people like Bailey Smith. I didn't know the caliber of player he was, but the finals he's definitely stepped that up.
Yeah. And then you can get yourself 3 goals, 27 disposals, man, 6 marks. He was involved in everything, bro. Like that, his first 2 goals were timely goals, bro. Soccer went off the ground. I can't quite remember the second one. Boy, doing his thing.
Yeah, 20. All right, bro. This is the time where we got 5 minutes left to do tips for next week.
Oh, all right. Tippington.
All right, so Melbourne and Geelong and
Port Stadium
and Port and Bulldogs. Ooh, Port got the home court advantage again. Jeez. Melbourne, Geelong, who you think, bro? I wonder how much that bye week is just gonna affect.
That is true. That is very true. I took that into account more so with Port than Melbourne for some reason. I don't know why. But, I want to go Geelong, bro. I do. I'm gonna tip Geelong, and if Geelong loses, it's gonna be Oliver and Petrarca. That probably bites him in the ass. Maybe Max gone, but I'm gonna tip Geelong just because Oh no, it's your last chance. Like we've been saying, like you've been saying, it's your last chance. They're going hard, bro. They took that ass whooping from Port. They've been turning up though. Tom, they look like they managed without Tom Stewart last game. They did pretty good, bro. Blitzars and Henderson and all these defensive players in the midfield pushing back. And so if they can control it, I think Geelong will win.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Melbourne on this one. I do think Geelong. I think Geelong is a better team in the air, but when it gets to the ground, I think Melbourne's is gonna pick it up. Defensively, I think Melbourne's gonna hold Geelong back, and their midfield is tough. GW. The level of competition they're jumping to, GWS to Melbourne, especially the way GWS played last game, is going to be a big step in competition they're playing against, in my opinion. And Geelong might be ready. They might be coming off some momentum. I'm thinking Melbourne's going to hold it down. Melbourne's going to have to be able to control Geelong's game. They both kind of slow teams, in my opinion. It's gonna be a good game, man. I'm gonna have to go Melbourne though.
I just want to pay attention to Melbourne's forwards, see if they show up, and then I also want to pay attention to who grabs Tom Hawkins and who grabs Jeremy Cameron and how those matchups go. I think it might be May on Hawkins and Lever on the cameras.
I feel like you're gonna have to put Stephen May on Boogeyman, bro.
It'll be interesting, bro. He ain't throwing around May like Taylor though,
Hell.
so definitely not. It'll be that's what's gonna be interesting. That's what's gonna be interesting.
All right, so last game we got Port and the Bulldogs.
But tip Port at home, bro. I can't believe it, bro. Like I tipped Port the first week. They got it done. I got to tip Port again, but
Yeah.
Port been hot, bro. Port been turning up. They just best team on paper been well put together. They got the big bodies in the ruck where Bulldogs are susceptible to getting dominated a little bit, as we seen last week. Port's midfield ain't no hole with Wines and Bulk. You got the forwards, you got Dixon, you got Robbie Gray, you get what I'm saying? You got Fantasia who turned up. Like it might be a little too much. Then you got Bont injured, who if he comes back he's not playing 100%. You got Waitman who's not playing. It's like, all right, man. You got Alex Keith. I don't think Alex Keith by himself is gonna hold it down there. And just to keep it honest, I don't see Bulldogs really getting past this matchup. It might be a little bit going too much.
Nah, cause I think I'm gonna have to agree with you, bro. I do think Port's gonna win this game just cause the Bulldogs got beat up last game. Too many key players not playing. For them to win, Bailey Smith is gonna have to have a great. Bailey, Libba, Tim English. So many of their players are gonna have to have great games that don't consistently have great games. It's gonna be tough, man. Port's been resting. Port's been chilling. They had the last week off. They've been in finals. From that first week, they in great finals form. And they're at home, bro.
It's just too much going their way, bro.
It is, bro.
Forward line is thinning up there in Bulldogs.
And I'm trying to find a reason for the Dogs to win. There's so many shit.
You found it. Midfield got to play exceptional, bro. They just got to counteract that ruck advantage. They did that last week. But I don't think they'll do it this again.
Yeah, they did it with Bart. Cody,
you're right. And McCray got to it's gonna have to be a Bailey Smith, McCray, bro. Lockie Hunter. All these players gonna have to turn up, bro. It's like you said, it's gonna have to be a collective effort. It's gonna have to be a team effort, a Port effort for the Dogs to beat Port.
Yeah. Damn, bro. So it seems like we both agree Port's gonna make it to the grand finals.
Mm-hmm.
And Melbourne or Geelong, bro. That shit crazy as fuck. Geelong might be in this bitch 2 years in a row. I think Port made it this close last year. If I'm not mistaken. I'm just excited for more finals footy, man.
Me too. I will add, I may have picked the wrong pick with Geelong, to be honest. Really talking it through, it does sound like Melbourne gonna get it done. I'm sticking with Geelong for sure, especially since I already had them going to the grand final. But that might be the wrong pick.
Yeah, my whole bracket, that shit ass. That shit.
That nigga said that shit ass.
That shit. Fuck.
Let me go to my shit ass. That nigga said my shit ass.
Oh shit. If y'all were wondering about Lockie Neal, he's staying in Brisbane. He ain't going nowhere. Shit just got blew out of proportion a little too fast. His wife is pregnant. They about to have a baby, but he's staying in Brisbane.
I wonder if he backed down because of the pressure, or if it was the reporter's fault.
It would have been crazy to see him in just a Western Australian team. I would like him in Frio. Yeah, I wouldn't mind him at Frio. I wouldn't like him at Frio, but I wouldn't mind him at Frio. So shit like this wouldn't happen. We go to the finals in Western Australia with no Western Australian teams.
So what was it, top four? So my top four was Port, Melbourne, Geelong, and Brisbane. So Brisbane I could have had all four right if it wasn't for fucking dogs. Bitch ass dogs. Nigga, I had the dogs losing to Essendon. Ooh, shit.
My shit. My second name, fuck. I had Melbourne, Geelong, and Brisbane GWS.
Melbourne, Geelong, Brisbane, GWS. Okay. And my shit was Port versus Melbourne, and Melbourne winning.
Alright, y'all, I'm finna end this goddamn video, you know what I'm saying, man. You catch us live, you know what I'm talking about? We be live new thing all the time, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be live on Friday,
Hold
you know
on.
what I'm saying?
You straight. Did Brisbane and Geelong just play this week? You could have. Yeah.